how do the Lakers keep finding ways to win? No matter if a star is out, no matter what's going on, how do the Lakers keep finding a way? Is it the coaching? Is it Luka? Is it Austin Reeves? Is it LeBron being out? Right? Like, is it the role players? Like, what's a combination of all these things? Like, what is it about this team and this year, despite all the challenges and all the things that they're facing, that they still keep finding a way to win? Y'all, Los Angeles Lakers, my favorite team, right? If you know about this podcast, you know about this platform, you know about me personally, you know the Lakers are one of my favorite teams. And on a college level, it's the Arkansas Razorbacks all day long, right? And that's the topic here tonight, man, because I really did some research to figure out what is making this team so damn good. What is making this team flow the way they're flowing when they have all the excuses in the world to stink right now? All the excuses in the world to lay down and lose games. Whether you're sitting out 2 stars, 1 star, a couple of role players here and there, a role player gets hurt, whatever the case may be, guys are stepping up and doing what needs to be done to still win games. And I have to say this, and we'll get into this further, but J.J. Redick is coaching his ass off. So, again, how do the Lakers keep winning these games? So, the Lakers are currently on a 5-game winning streak where they're only allowing their opponents 115 points per game while they're scoring almost 120. I want you to fact check me on that and make sure that's accurate and let me know if I'm lying. Marcus Smart has one of the highest plus minuses, not one of the highest plus minus on the team. Jake LaRavia is averaging almost 13 points a game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and shooting almost 60% from the field. We cannot forget about the fact that DeAndre Ayton is looking like a different man. I've mentioned that in episodes before, where you can crucify me for the first episode of this season where I talked about how the Lakers might not be good as I thought they were, or are the Lakers as good as we thought they were? Right? I wanted to ask that hypothetical to leave it open for interpretation, but I did have my doubts, man. But I have to say, I may have put my foot in my mouth, right, so to speak, because. Man, this team is special, it seems like, in a way to me, because Ayton has pretty much revived his career here in L.A. in this early season, right, to say the least so far. Averaging, 17 points a game almost, 8 rebounds, couple of assists, blocking shots, rebounding, going head-to-head with some of the biggest big men in the game, and not backing down, right? Even tonight against Wemby, really held his own for the most part, man, I would say. But the Lakers as a collective did that as well. And I think what DeAndre Ayton is showing you is not so much even about him, but about, I think, certain people in the league, period, is that certain type of players need other certain type of players in order for them to reach their full potential. That's just how it is, right? Like, certain guys make other guys better, yes, but also because of the way a certain guy plays, he may click well and do much better with this guy versus this other team, right? And we saw the success that DeAndre Ayton had when he had a real point guard, a guy to run the show. Don't get me wrong, Chris Paul is no Luka, but Chris Paul is the point guard, right? And I think Luka is a damn close second with a much deeper offensive bag and much bigger in size and all those things. We know that, obviously. But I think DeAndre Ayton is showing that if he has the right guard and the right people around him, he can get you 17, 18, maybe even 19 points a game, close to 10 rebounds, again, block shots, be solid defensively, and just be that back rim anchor that we need. And again, I've said this before, Jackson Hayes has been serviceable, to say the least. He's been really good, actually. And he's in his proper role as a backup center versus a starting center. It's perfect for him. And so those are some of the things I see off the front end where it's like these are the things that are obvious, that are popping off the page and making you say, damn, they're playing really, really fucking good. And I think another big thing that's been good for this Laker team, especially in this 5-game span where we're winning, or just even this season period, I'll say, outside the first game, we've been much better in third quarters. This team has been so much better in third quarters instead of coming out the halftime flat, or losing leads or digging a deeper hole for ourselves. I think even when people punch us, we are able to punch back. And don't get me wrong, a lot of that is Luka, right? I'm no fool. A lot of that is Austin Reeves. I'm no fool, but at the same time, we're not coming out dead in the water in the third quarter. It has been much better for us, and we're closing games better, right? We're coming out on the right side of some of those closing games, and it's been fun to see, man. It's been really, really fun to see. And I think another big point that I've realized during this span, is that this team is proving that as long as we have one of our big three, right? Obviously, outside of LeBron, we haven't seen, but I feel confident even with if LeBron was the only one there. As long as we have one of our guys in a group of key role players, I would love for Marcus Smart to always be included in that. Jake LaRavia and Rui. As long as you got a combination of those guys, right? Gabe, if he's healthy, you have a chance. I'm not gonna say you're gonna necessarily win. Portland got us that first time, but I still think that if you have at least one of those guys, the right role players around you, and they're able to help deliver and take some of that load off of that main guy, whether that's Austin or whether that's Luka or whether that's LeBron, we have a chance to win the game. And that seems to be the formula that the Lakers are going with, where it's like, hey, both of you or all three of you might not play, but at least one of you is going to play, and we're going to try to make sure you got a little help. But even in the other night in Portland, right, I think that's another big thing is like they're doing it by committee. Where this Laker team and J.J. Redick is empowering no matter who comes on the court, he's giving them the confidence and the room and the space to operate. Nick Smith Jr. giving you 25 points the other night, again, in a big win, comeback win against the Portland Trailblazers, who are no slouches this year, that just beat the Thunder tonight, right? So that's no fluke, right? Nick Smith goes out there and gives them almost 30 efficiently, hit 5 threes, I believe, right? And he's from my hometown. So seeing that type of stuff, it's like, that's dope. That is dope. And again, you could tell that he's giving these guys confidence. These guys respect him. Obviously he knows what he's doing on the court when it comes to his play call and all of those things. That's obvious. It's just flowing, right? Doing it by the committee piece, I think, is super, super big. And I think is that their recipe seems to be one of our guys play, and we're going to give our other guys some chances, and we want a couple of our key role guys or, role player, jail guys to play, right? Vando being at the 5, I love that for him. That's how he's able to get on the court because he's guarding 1 through 5. Because he's not doing anything spectacular and offensively. He just hit his first 3 tonight in Game 7, of the season, which is still young, right? So he's able to be valuable because he's guarding 1 through 5 and doing a pretty good job at it, right, when we want to go small. It's just flowing. It's just flowing. That's that formula. One main guy play, glue guys. We need a couple of you guys to play, and let's do it by committee. Like even tonight, I think that's a great example of that, where you have 4 starters scoring 10 points or more, right, in this game against San Antonio tonight. Luka was a star, of course. Again, that's our one guy. He gave us 35, 13, 5 steals, 2 blocks. He did have 4 turnovers, but we won the game. And it was we almost gave it away at the end, but we won the game, right? And I think you had Marcus Smart in double figures. Rui was in double figures. Luka was in double figures, and I believe who I'm forgetting, Jake LaRavia, if I'm not mistaken, was in double figures, or DeAndre Ayton was in double figures. So, man, these dudes came together and did it by committee, and I think that is what's making this team so good as well. And why they're able to win games, because Jake LaRavia gave you 20-something the other night, right, with Austin. And then Marcus Smart is doing great things. And then every Blue Moon Dalton Connect will come through. And I want to do a whole episode just talking about Dalton Connect, because it's like, damn, brother, you're struggling at the one thing that you're elite at. I feel like every NBA player has at least that one thing that they're elite at. That, well, not everyone, but, they have that thing that they can hang their hat on, right? Like for a random example, a guy like Davion Mitchell, he's still in the league and got a contract with the Heat because he plays tenacious defense, right? And I think a guy like Dalton Connect, you're in the league because you shoot the shit out the ball. And he's just struggling right now shooting the ball. And it almost wants to make you ask the question, has he lost his confidence? Has he? It's almost obvious the answer to that question is yes. It feels like from afar. I could be wrong, but that's what it feels like. You hear those rumblings where people say, once he got traded and then it got rescinded and he got sent back, that might have messed his head up or whatever the case may be. But I feel like that was more about Mark Williams than it was Dalton Connect. Me personally, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but it does seem like he seemed to lost his confidence. and we could be such a much. It could be even that much more dangerous if he played. Um, Man, Marcus Smart, man, I tweeted it earlier. I said Marcus Smart, I love that dude, bro, because he is the dude that every guy needs on their team when you talk about championship. Think about it. Every team has a guy that does that. Whether that's Rodman, whether that's Meta World Peace, whether that's Tony Allen, right? Whether that's Kevin Garnett, right? Even though KG was much more than that, but KG was also that dog, that pit bull, right? Dillon Brooks, right? He didn't win a championship, but everybody wants a guy like that. Marcus Smart is cut from that cloth, right? He gonna do the dirty work. He gonna dive on the floor. He gonna guard the best player. He can start. He can come off the bench. He can hit shots every once in a while. He just does everything. You know, a little off the rails at times, right? But tonight it paid off. Time and time again, it's paid off. And I think that point proves to be true when you talk about every team needs that, because we've needed that in the past. When you talk about just needing that dog, which is why you go get a guy like Dodo, right? You go get Dorian Finney-Smith, who played with Luka. But I think Jake LaRavia mixed with Marcus Smart is even better than Dorian Finney-Smith when it comes to that and what they bring. A team like the Orlando Magic are a great example right now of a team that needs toughness. Right, the Atlanta Hawks is a great example of a team that needs toughness, that needs a guy that's a dog, just a dog, for real, right? I think Lou Dort is that for OKC, right? Chris Dunn is that guy for the Clippers, right? Even though they stink, in my opinion, right? Like everybody has that, and man, Marcus Smart is so valuable in what he does and doesn't always show in the box score. But him having the highest plus minus should tell you everything you need to know. You're on the court with Luka and you had the highest plus minus. You're on the court with Austin Reeves and you got the highest plus minus. That tells you everything you need to know. And I think the biggest point that I realized as to why they're winning is because most guys would crumble when they don't have 1 to 2 superstars in, 1 to 2 guys that are in. Right, because now you're starting to see, even with like a team like the 76ers, the reality of that team is starting to take place where Embiid not playing, PG not playing. Yeah, it started out hot, right? And, Embiid was playing 20 minutes, but he didn't play tonight, and they got the doors blew off their motherfucking ass, right, by the Cavs, right, who is one of the top teams in the East, granted, but got the doors blew off their motherfucking ass. And most teams will crumble when they don't have their stars, like the Sixers did. And the Lakers are proving that even when we sit out certain dudes, this formula is working, where as long as we got one of our guys and these certain key glue guys and role players, we got a chance. And every team in the NBA can't do that. And I think that is another thing that makes this team impressive and stand out, and why I think they're winning. I would love to hear your thoughts on these takes and what you think and what I may have missed and what I didn't consider, what other angle I could have came from with this thing. I would love to hear from you guys, man. Why do you think the Lakers keep on winning? 5-0 winning streak, 7-2 in the overall league, or 7-2, 6-2, 7-2, right? Lucas has 200 points in the first 5 games. Special, man. It's just special to see, and I'm so excited to see when this team is fully healthy, man. But JJ is doing his thing. This team is clicking. They're gelling. Everybody is kind of doing what I feel like Rob Pelinka envisioned when he put this roster together. It's coming together perfectly. God willing, no setbacks and no nothing happens, man. This team can be really, really good and really special. And I was completely wrong about my first take about this team, man. And I have no problem admitting that. I would love to hear from you guys and what y'all think, man. I love y'all so much. Peace.